All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, folks, to the FF Face-Off. This is a fantasy football podcast where we are discussing your starts and sits for the fantasy football playoffs, Week 15, most specifically. Go to fffaceoff.com for all of your fantasy football, NFL sports betting needs. Feel free to like the show on X at FF Faceoff as well. And yeah, we're going to get into it. We know we're going to get some Week 16 questions. We know we're going to get some what the hell happened to Cooper Cup last night. We're going to get to all that. Look forward to it. Lastly, if you're on the YouTube, please like, please subscribe. Helps us out immensely. With all that being said, my name is Michael Hoff. You can follow me on X at the FF Realist. And I'm joined by the very eager concert enthusiast himself. His name is Pete Nova. He can be followed at Supernova38. That's with 2 R's, of course. That's also some more behind-the-scenes humor for you. But, Pete, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Just ready to roll. Ready to roll. Ready to talk about it. Do you want to talk about yesterday?
I do, but I just want to know which concert would you pick to have that happen at?
Creed. All right.
Go ahead.
Matt
Yeah.
Matt has been waiting. He said, "Thank you guys. I avoided playing Juwan Jennings. I also went up against Cup in 2 different leagues, Purdy, Kyron, and Kittle. Puka was the only guy worth a damn, and I had him. I had Puka as well. I did go up against Kyron, so I was a little annoyed about that, but at least I didn't get crushed.
Yeah. Yesterday was not a great start for fantasy football playoffs, unless you're going up against one of these guys last night.
Yeah, not good at all.
Yeah.
Said, I'm in tight end hell. Who do I play? Kyle Pitts or Stone Smart, or should I go up and pick Juwan Jennings, Fant, Conklin, Atkins, or Jazeki?
I don't think Matt was on the show yesterday, but I feel like we got a question towards the end of it yesterday that was similar to that. Pitts or Smart. I'm going Smart, and I'm not taking any of the other options that you mentioned instead of Smart. I'm going with what we've seen, from Will Dissly. Will Dissly's not playing this week, but I still believe that target share is real. I don't think that target share disintegrates for Chargers tight ends just because Dissly isn't there. So I'm going to go Stone Smart. Good matchup too. So give me that.
Yeah, I'll go Stone Smart as well. I mean, at this rate, him and Kyle Pitts are just as much of a toss-up. Kyle Pitts is averaging 8.1 points per game. I mean, target share-wise, 14. You know, it's not like he's being heavily targeted. He's getting targeted on 20% of his routes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not excited. I mean, looking at Pitts in his last few games, 14 receiving yards, 0, 9, 55, 11, 91. I mean, just super inconsistent. And I don't really trust him a ton. So I'd go with Stone Smart and roll the dice at this point.
Yep. Same here.
All right. Sheil said hello. Hello. Albert said hello as well.
Hello.
And Matt said, should I start Pollard or Tracy? I would start Pollard this week.
Pollard.
Yeah.
Yep. Same here, man. Same here.
Yeah. Bengals run defense not scary. And I know Pollard might be banged up, but he's been banged up before and has played well. And Tracy goes up against a tough run defense. So
agreed.
They have probably similar floors. All right. Iron's chatter. Matt said Jonnu Smith or Elijah Moore in PPR. It's Jonnu Smith for me pretty comfortably.
It is Jonnu Smith, but I get the question because, I mean, outside of overtime, you got nothing from Jonnu last week.
I get it.
Jonnu's fantasy day was saved by that overtime, so I get why people would be a little bit nervous. But given against Elijah Moore, I'm the same. Jonnu.
Yeah, I mean, Elijah Moore has been getting targets, but Cedric Tillman is set to come back as well. You know, another mouth to feed. Now, no Jonnu Smith most likely, which is tough because Jonnu Smith had a monster schedule for playoffs. And it's tough seeing him probably not playing.
Wait, so Jonnu Smith is not playing, you're saying?
Sorry, David Njoku. Apologize. David Njoku.
Yeah.
So with no Njoku, you know, probably helps Elijah.
I was going to say, adding on to the tight end misery, also Evan Ingram's out now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. I saw that as well. JTB said, got Brees Hall, full participant, and Brian Robinson for RB2. I'm starting Brian Robinson. He plays the Saints. It's a great matchup. And Brees Hall, I have my worries. In this
Yeah.
situation, I would be starting Brian Robinson comfortably coming off of a bye.
Yeah, I don't trust the whole Brees Hall thing, to be quite honest with you. I really don't, because even if he does play, do the Jets want to limit how much he does? So I'm not trusting that. Same thing, Brian Robinson.
To me, it makes zero sense to have the Jets even start him. I mean, it's a lost
Right.
season. I get teams guys are competing, but I mean, Bruce Hall has shown us everything that we need to show that he's a good player. He's not playing for a contract, and they drafted Braylon Allen this year. To me, it's like, why risk? He's got an injury to the same knee that he tore. Why have him go out there? Doesn't make sense to me. But maybe I'm just a greedy fantasy owner.
Yeah, you're beautiful.
But all in one show said hello. Looking for some advice on my flex. Pick one: London, Higgins, Connor, Pacheco, Ridley, Waddle, or Pollard. This is a lot to unpack here. A lot of options. A lot of good options. Connor gets the Patriots, who have not been a great run defense.
Yeah,
I
Connor
would
jumps
start.
out to me right away, but I'm not.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
but
What do you got?
Pollard jumps out to me too. I prefer
Yeah.
Connor and Pollard over Pacheco this week. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I prefer Waddle over Ridley, so I would cancel Ridley out. I prefer Higgins over London. It's probably between Higgins, Waddle, London, Connor, and Pollard, but that still doesn't really narrow it down. So many options.
But for me, it's between Higgins and Connor. I would personally go with Connor if it were me. I think Kyler Murray has a good game this week, but I also think that James Conner has a good week. This is why a lot of people and myself in my home league, I traded for James Conner for this specific reason. I like these playoff matchups. I mean, he does go up against Carolina at some point towards the end of the year. Well, I mean, towards the end of the year, in either 16 or 17. But yeah, so I would go James Conner here.
Yeah, it's hard to sit T. Higgins. I mean, he's ninth in
Agreed. I get
points
it.
per game this year. 16.6. It is worrisome. His last game, 2 receptions for 23 yards. But before that, I mean, he had a touchdown in 3 straight games, 82, 148, 69. And I mean, the targets were off the charts. To me, I'm going to start T. Higgins here. I can understand. I think I go for ceiling in the playoffs at this point. I think he provides the highest ceiling of all these guys. But what I would say is Connor's a little bit safer and provides a little bit of a lower ceiling. So if you're willing to go with a little bit of a safer option, go with Connor, who still provides a high ceiling, but just not as high as Higgins, in my opinion. But me personally, I go for ceiling. I take all the risk in the playoffs at this point.
Sure.
So Shield said, should I go Ravens or Commanders defense? Lattimore is playing and DeVito is starting for the Giants. Yeah, I did mention that, I predicted in my rankings that Lattimore would play. It's not a bold prediction. He was traded, hadn't played. They came off a bye. I assumed that they didn't sit him before. They sat him before the bye. I expected them to just give him one extra week. In this situation, I'm going with the Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 15.5 points. They are on the road, and they're still favored 15.5. The Giants are averaging 12.5 points a game over the last 3 weeks with Daniel Jones out. Tommy DeVito may not turn the ball over as much as Drew Lock, but I don't think he provides explosiveness. And I know this Ravens defense isn't great, but they're still in the top 10 for sacks per game. I think they're third this year. So I'm still rolling the dice with the Ravens here, who I think provide a really high floor. I mean, I don't mean to rant, but the Saints, the Cowboys, are 2 teams. I'm trying to think of the third team. It was Saints, Cowboys, Bucks. All 3 of those defenses aren't good, and they all put up 10 or more fantasy points against the Giants. 2 of them were in MetLife. So to me,
yeah.
I'm going with the Ravens. I mean, do you have any thoughts there?
I mean, I'm pretty much in line with what you're thinking, but much like if somebody asks a kicker question, you'd be like, okay, I'm the same with you.
Yeah,
Pete's done incredible work with deep. I mean, you guys all know this if you guys are watching. Pete's done incredible work with defenses, so I will ride what he says.
Okay. Shield, thanks for new name. So you must be a new subscriber. Thank you for jumping in to us live. Jared Fortin said, "Hey guys, well in a while was projected to win. Now after Jennings projected,
This is the same Jared on Twitter.
yes,
Jared, you don't have to ask us both the same question, man. If one of us tells you yes, it's yes, man. We got you.
he wants to know where
We got
Anthony
you.
is. He wants to know where Anthony. He said need two running backs. Need two. Sorry, Tracy McCormick, Waddle. I'm leaning RBs due to Waddle, Hammy. Where is Anthony? I'm
Anthony,
going. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going Anthony, but I mean, Anthony's got some stuff behind the scenes. Nothing we got to worry about. Nothing,
Yeah, no,
nothing
he's all
worries.
good.
Just some stuff he's kind of waiting on. He is projected to be back on Monday. He's questionable for Monday, but he's
Yes.
fine. Good. Everybody's all good. He's just doing some
Yep.
stuff. Got some stuff.
Yeah, he's itching to get back.
Yeah, that's why
In
it took
this,
us long to get on. We were talking
yeah,
to him
we were
before, so
yeah, we were talking to Anthony before. In this situation, Jared, look, I mean, you're predicted to lose. Waddle is the highest ceiling guy here. If you're projected to lose, I'm rolling Waddle in this game. I mean, he's been very good. He gets the Texans, who have been very favorable to opposing wide receivers. I'm sitting McCormick or Tracy, and I'm probably sitting McCormick because I think Tracy provides higher upside. I don't know. I mean, am I crazy, Joe? I mean, Hoff. I mean, I just think I don't know how you don't go Waddle if you're projected to lose right now. I mean, you're chasing points.
I go Waddle. I don't know if I mentioned this on yesterday's show, but if I'm just looking at, and yeah, I know the Texans had last week off, but if you look at the 5 weeks before that, 54.5, 26.3, 44.2, 38.6, and 50.3, those are points allowed to wide receivers. Well, to the wide receiver position. So yeah, Texans are allowing it. And if the Texans are allowing it, Tua, Waddle, and Tyreek will oblige. They'll make it happen.
Yeah. So I'm there. And so running back wise, though,
Running back wise, I'm sorry, I was focused more on the wide receiver part.
Tracy
Where's
McCormick.
Tracy or McCormick? I go Tracy. I go
Okay.
Tracy. I get the matchup's not the best, but I
Yeah,
go
I mean, if you're
Tracy.
chasing points, to me, he's the better guy.
Yeah.
So ATL, do you think the 49ers fire Kyle Shanahan? Very disappointing season. I
I'm
don't
not
think
even
so.
I'm not even answering that because he's just here because he is our resident troll. He wants a reaction out of me. Guess what?
Uh,
You're not getting it. You want to know what, ATL? Send in a super chat, then I'll give you an honest answer.
Yeah.
I would say they trade him before they fire him for sure.
By the
Pete
way,
Sandoval, what's up, man?
tonight,
What?
the New York sack exchange with the New York Jets is on tonight.
Ooh, yeah. And when does
And
the Rogers doc come out?
the Rogers doc is Tuesday the 17th. But Marty Lyons, which I am a supporter of the Marty Lyons Foundation. They do a lot of great work for kids. So he'll be on there, of course, obviously, part of that sack exchange. But check it out on ESPN tonight.
Yeah. Matt Tate did ask about the Deandre Campbell situation. We'll get to that. I do want to chat a little bit about that.
We can have a discussion about that.
Yeah, it's not too far down in the comments. D Money, this is all yours, Hoff. Would you start Boswell all playoffs or stream based off Mr. Hoff's matchup advice?
Yes. I did see this question earlier. I like the playoff schedule. Yeah, week 15. Now, I got a lot of flack about I ranked Boswell a little bit lower this week. By the way, when you do kicker rankings, when you do top 12, and when you rank somebody, say 8 or 7 or 6, you're still getting, based on those rankings, you're still getting around 8 points out of that player. So when I rank Boswell at that point against the Eagles, it's not to say he's going to be miserable and get you 0 points. It's just to say he's not going to give you 20. So I dig Boswell if you want to ride him for the playoffs. If you have a better option this week, I would say to take that better option, but still roster Boswell. Don't drop Boswell because I do love him the following week, week 16, going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are towards the top in points allowed to kickers. Chiefs are more middle of the road. But again, when you talk about a guy like Boswell, the Steelers lead the league in field goals made. So, it's one of those things like, yeah, the matchup might not always be the best, but you could still rely on them. So, yeah, ride with Boswell.
Riding with
You'll be good.
Boz.
That's
I have
right.
no comment there.
I got a
Um,
lot of hate on X this week, which I understand. It's fine.
I got a
I
lot
get
of
it.
hate last week, so
Hmm.
some guy called me a poser.
I only got it because I ranked Boswell low, and they were like, "What are you doing?" Like fucking how's life going? But the Eagles don't allow a lot of points to kickers. It's you got
Look,
to weigh that into it.
here's the thing. You've done a really good job with kickers. I've done a really good job with defenses. I think we're at the point where we can say that and not sound cocky. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day, we have a process. Just because 1 week, or like for me with the Arizona Cardinals last week, yeah, I mean the Cardinals fucked up. Kyler Murray turned the ball over in their side of the end zone, their side of the field twice in the first quarter and put them in a hole, right? Does that mean I'm going to sit here looking at all the data that I use to make my decisions and not rank the Cardinals high when all of my data that I used all year suggests that they're a good matchup this week, right? Same with
especially when
Boswell.
you've been as good as you were all
Well, it's
year.
the same with Boswell though. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, he's been money this year, but if you're trusting your process and the process is telling you, hey, maybe he's not the best move here, then maybe he's not the best move. That's nothing wrong with that, right?
But again, the last thing, and you're right on all counts. The last thing I would just quickly say, I know I said it, but I'll say it again. Just when a guy is ranked outside the top 5, he could still get you 7 to 8 points. So it's still more than worthy of a fantasy football start.
Sure.
So just keep that in mind.
Well, and that's why I tell people when they watch my rankings video too. Some teams on defense are ranked higher than others, but that doesn't mean that they're the right play. Like, you need to know your risk tolerance, right? Like
Mhm.
Boswell might be the safer play, but he might not have as much upside as the guys you rank ahead of him, right? Like
Yeah.
that's why when I do my rankings videos, some people wait for me to just post it on Twitter, and that's fine. But like listening to the videos and watching them, you could hear me or you, if you do a rankings video, like, and actually explain, hey, like, I have this guy ranked higher because but XYZ. You need to know your risk tolerance. So all that comes into play. But anyway, all in one show said, unfortunately, I started Jennings. Should I beat
No,
myself up for it? No, I mean,
no, no.
I liked Jennings last night. I didn't think the weather would be such a factor, and I think the weather set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, the
Unfortunately,
first half, the weather was the rain was there was rain expected, but not to that magnitude. Just sometimes it just fucking happens. Just it's an inopportune time for it to happen on week 15 in your fantasy football playoffs. But don't beat yourself up. You went with it for the right reasons. That's it. You're all right. And if you're that upset, we can have a oh, here comes this fucking prick. Here we go.
all right. Well,
I know.
it is a super chat.
Here comes the most illogical super chat we've ever seen. But go ahead.
Do you think the 49ers fire or trade Kyle after coming up short yet again? And Pete, please rank the NL East. I'm on tilt about baseball right now, so might not be the best time. And Hoff is on tilt about the 49ers. So
No, well, no,
um,
I'm not on tilt. I'm not tilting. I'm accepting my fate. But by the way, I would still say here's the thing about Kyle Shanahan. A lot of people want to hate on Kyle Shanahan. A lot of people want to say, "Oh, will he?" Like, most people aren't saying will he be fired. Just our resident troll at ATL is one of the dumbest idiots on the planet. So he's just doing that to make me angry. Which he'll text me in 2 minutes and go, but anyway, no, they're not going to trade him. Kyle Shanahan's fine. The truth of it is, if Kyle Shanahan was available tomorrow to any NFL organization, just about every team, with the exception of maybe 3 or 4, would pick up the phone. Kyle Shanahan's not going anywhere. They're just fine. They ran into a lot of injuries. They ran into a lot of weird circumstances, but they did run into a lot of self-reflection, like Kyle Shanahan himself, play calling, giving up leads late, Debo being the way Debo is this year. So there's a lot of self-reflection that needs to happen, more so than any other year that Kyle Shanahan's been there, but he's not going anywhere. If anything, you guys wish he would go somewhere because the Niners will be back next year and they'll be fine. So, but thanks for the super chat. That meant nothing. You could have
I
you could have texted me that for free and got the same answer. But
I would say the and we'll tie in Matt's question because he asked about the Campbell incident, and we're gonna get there anyway, so we might as well just pull it in.
I'm gonna bring this
you
out
know,
of this.
The crazy look, Deandre Campbell is actually a good football player. That's the thing that sucks. I've actually always been a fan of him. He will get a job.
I was happy when the Niners got him.
He will get a job somewhere else.
Sure.
He will get a job somewhere else. I'm trying to think. I mean, honestly, like the Lions losing Anzalone, like a contender, like there are some like I've always been a fan of him. It's unfortunate.
I can see the Lions making that move.
Yeah, but
good
it's
call too, by the way.
unfortunate. But I don't think there's I don't think, and they did cut him.
Yep.
But I don't think there's a way that you repair that relationship in the locker room without losing the locker room. This isn't like a situation where, the team is like, give him another chance, and the GM and the higher powers are like, no, I'm sorry. It to cross the line. Like clearly the locker room was not happy about it. They were in a must-win game and the dude tapped out.
To me, this isn't even one of those, and I'll take a sip because this one's for Campbell. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers. Oh, like the show too, guys. We have 12 likes. We got a lot of people here on YouTube. If you haven't hit that like button,
I'll say this on the whole Campbell thing. People always on social media, their defense mechanism is to say, "Oh, well, you never played ball, or you did this, or you did that." And I'll say this: if you played any kind of team sports, and I don't care what the sport is, it could be fucking field hockey, it could be football, it could be whatever. If you played any kind of team sport, there is a whole mantra called hold the rope. You all hold the rope together. You're all on the same path. You're all doing the same thing. It's not going to be fun. It's going to burn. It's going to be pain. There's going to be joy, but you hold the rope. And last night, Campbell dropped the rope. He made a personal decision. He dropped the rope because he was upset because Dre Greenlaw, of all people, came back. And that meant that Campbell wasn't needed to play all the time. If Campbell signed with the 49ers knowing Dre Greenlaw was coming back and thought he was going to be the best linebacker on this team, he is as delusional as ATL is with his super chats. It's not in the cards, man. And he made a decision. We hear a lot of, he made a business decision. He made a business. He made a personal decision last night.
Correct.
And to me, if he walks in that locker room the next day, if I play for the Niners and if he walks in that locker room the next day, I'm looking over my shoulder saying, what the fuck is he doing here? And to me, and the last thing I'll say, and I put this out on X, the Niners have been one of the best. The reason why the Niners have been so good, on top of having great talent, is their core in that locker room has been so strong. So you want to tell me you want to put that guy back in that locker room? That's an immediate fracture. And one that you might not be able to come back from. That's when all you guys that want Kyle Shanahan out of time, that's when it'll finally happen. But Shanahan did the right thing. That guy can be a great player somewhere else. He can explain himself. We could relate to him, but it won't be on the 49ers. That's it. He's gone. And good riddance.
I agree. I mean, look, it's to the equivalent of, this was a huge game for them, right? Drake Greenlaw also tapped out a couple of times because he's coming back from an injury. So Campbell, being a good teammate, would go back in. To me, you signed.
Could have been the hero of that game too.
But he signed the contract knowing, hey, there was a strong possibility that Greenlaw would be back this year, and he would become a rotation guy. That's just the bottom line. I mean, this would be the equivalent of being at a large presentation in front of stakeholders for your company, and in the middle of the presentation telling your boss, hey, I don't want to work today. Not, oh, I'm having a panic attack, or, oh, I don't feel well, I'm sick. No, just I just not really feeling it. Be one thing if Dre Greenlaw said the day before the game, I'm not feeling it, and then they said he's out, personal issues, and maybe they try to resolve it behind the scenes. But mid-game, You're expecting the guy to be out there to
Yeah.
play. Come on. So we got
And
questions to get to, but go ahead.
the last thing I'll say about that, I don't want to go on it forever because then Anthony will text me and yell at me. But listen, I said yes on yesterday's show. The Niners were going to run into a buzzsaw that end their playoff hopes when they played the Lions. I didn't expect that buzzsaw to come last night, but it did. But there was an opportunity for Campbell to be a potential hero in what was a field goal game.
Mm.
He could have come in, made a big play. Niners could have won the game. We could have looked at Campbell a lot differently.
Yep.
But we're not. And now he's looking for work. So, and it won't be on the Niners, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I'm
Great,
with you.
good play, not great, but good player, going to help somebody, but not in San Francisco. He won't. So,
yeah. All right, we're with Tree Hugging Hunter.
oh, that's very nice. Nice to
Yeah,
go from the hostility to some tree hugging.
yeah,
I'm in.
nice little switch up. Said, need one tight end, two flex. Otten, Hawk, Muth, James Cook, Downs, Ford, Addison, Kendra Miller, K9. I don't expect K9 to play. Anybody that's doubtful is like 95% doesn't play. Wide receiver starters are Marv, McLaurin. RB starters are Cook and Barkley. So he needs a tight end and two flex here. I'm starting Hawkinson. I'm starting Jordan Addison, who's been hot. And I'm starting either either Josh Downs or Otten, but I lean.
No James Cook?
No, James Cook said he said my starters are Cook and Barkley. He just gave you. He said my starters are Marv,
Why?
McLaurin.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah,
Never
I
mind.
don't know
Okay,
why
go
he
ahead. I'm
worded it
sorry.
like that.
I'm
No,
sorry.
it's all
Yep.
good.
No. Okay.
I'm between Downs and Otten. No Riley Moss for Denver, but Riley Moss doesn't play the slot. McMillan does. So I think I go Otten. I go Otten and
Yeah, I'd go out in two. I do. Oh my
oh,
god!
and Addison. I'm sorry, and Addison.
Well, yeah. Well, you said Addison already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I go the same. The only thing I'm a little worried about, which I'm kind of interested for your thoughts on, Otten has had. We know he had the matchup against the Giants, which was a bad one, and which proved to be a bad one. He didn't put up great numbers. He's had some decent matchups, but he hasn't put up great numbers. Are we just hammering Otten based on what he did when Evans and Godwin were out and hoping that it hits again? Or is this a logical play? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think the volume has been there with him. 7 targets against Carolina, only 4 last week, but he had 70 yards on 3 catches, 10 points there. To me, I would be comfortable going with Downs over Otten in this spot but I mean, you could also make the argument with Freiermuth, right? No George Pickens against the Eagles, but I still think I'm okay with Otten. If you're going for upside, I would roll with Downs and go Downs, Hawk, and Addison. But I mean, Otten's. I mean, he's 5th in targets for tight ends, 11th in target share, snap share number 1 among all tight ends. Routes run 3rd, route participation number 1 in the NFL. I mean, he's getting the opportunities. So for me, that's partially why. You?
Sorry, I was answering a very important question for my daughter. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
gonna go on the calls that I went on earlier. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna
Fair
go
enough.
Downs. I'm gonna go not Downs. I'm gonna go Addison. I'm gonna go Hawk, and I'm gonna go Otten.
Okay.
Sorry. I know I asked
No,
you a
you're good.
question and you know.
You're good. You're good.
A teen daughter texts me and she's going through something, so I answer.
That's all
That's
right.
what happens. Yeah,
That's all
that's
right.
how we
You're
roll.
doing your thing.
Family and fantasy first.
Yeah, it's all good. Nico said Charbonnet, Rashad Whiters, Shakir start 2.
Shakira.
If Bucky doesn't play, I'm fine with White and Charbonnet. Shakir does get Detroit, which is a really good matchup. I want to look at that for a second, but I
Yeah,
am
I
starting.
was looking that up too.
I think you got to start Charbonnet. But looking at Shakir, his expected matchup fantasy points per route run for fantasy points is 0.52. his coverage grade, matchup grade is -7 percentage wise, so he gets a tougher matchup, I guess. But
I'm
Detroit's
I'm
been favorable.
I'm going Charbonnet away here. Because to me, even if Bucky Irving plays, what are we getting out of him? We told a lot of people to start him last week. He played last week. He played hurt. Didn't get as much done. Obviously, on the stat column shows that. So I'd go Charbonnet, and I'd go White. I get Shakir's a good play, could be in other with other options,
Sure.
in a different question. But yeah,
Yeah,
Charbonnet or White.
my gut says White. White's been good too. I mean, I know I'm infatuated with Bucky Irving, as most of us are.
Yeah,
But
me too.
Rashad White's been good either way. I mean, efficiency wise, sure, but he's getting touchdowns. He's getting volume still. He's fine. Tyler Sperry said Downs over Otten. Is Evans out? I think Evans is going to play. I know me and Hoff talked about this
Hmm.
yesterday. I think he's going to play, but if I mean, I'm just going to go based off of what I said before. I'm starting Otten.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Evans is not out. I'm going Otten, but Evans is not out. Yeah, we talked about. He did practice today for what it's worth. I think this is really quick, just like Pete and I talked about yesterday. I think the Buccaneers are they're aware, not kind of, they're aware of the whole 1,000-yard season streak being on the line, and I think that they want Evans to get it just as much as Evans wants to get it. So if practice isn't necessary for a guy who's been playing that long, yeah. So I'm not really worried about Evans missing practice. So
Yeah. I'm with you there. All right, let's scroll up.
yeah, he said sharp season by Hayden, and just as you're looking up, I'm just going to quickly say I feel fucking awful for Jonathan Brooks, but yeah, it is, yeah.
Tough.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean Chuba Hubbard, but yeah, Charbonnet season too. Jesus,
I know.
my head's all over the
I know what you
place.
meant.
Yeah,
Emil
I'm going
said with
through
the
it.
Njoku and Tillman. Oh, so Tillman is out. Okay. I thought I saw that he got ruled in. I guess he is out. You're starting Elijah Moore or Devonta Smith. I'm still starting Devonta Smith here. Chiefs are a tough matchup. To me, uh, playing a tougher defense, I'd rather go with Devonta Smith. Maybe you feel differently. I'm going with my best player. It's the playoffs.
Yeah,
I'm not getting cute and starting Elijah Moore over Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith absolutely could score more. I mean, Elijah Moore could absolutely score more points, but I'm not getting cute and starting him over Devonta. Just not.
I think there are certain avenues in which you can get cute, which you can say, I will play this guy. Like, for example, for me, Stone Smart at tight end this weekend, in
Sure.
certain situations, depending on the question. But to me, when you're talking about Devonta Smith, he doesn't fall into that category of let me take the cute matchup. Otherwise, it's Devonta Smith's the answer. I just hate that Njoku is like, you know,
It sucks. He had such a
yeah,
monster schedule. Um,
yep. And he did the
Willie,
same thing late last year for people. You know,
I know.
sucks.
Um, I'm gonna go off camera for a second. Answer this question.
What? Where's he going? Oh my goodness, Willie. He must have something against you. All right, be that as it may. Willie, you're asking, do you start Goff or Herbert? Herbert was practicing today. So if I'm pulling up the schedule here, Herbert is going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've got Jared Goff going, I believe that's at home. It is at home. It's against Buffalo Bills, which CBS will be there. They're doing some fun stuff as far as pregame testing punches, apparently, as per WFAN. But anyway, you don't give a shit about that, Willie. You want to know who do you start? Do you start Jared Goff? Do you start Justin Herbert? Let me take a look at one thing really quick. I'm leaning Jared Goff, but I want to check one other thing. Just give me one more moment. If I pull this up, right meow. There's my Super Troopers reference if you're all paying attention. No, I'm gonna go Jared Goff in this one. Do I think it is on the shootout level of what we saw last week between the Rams and the Bills? No, I don't. I think that would be amazing. I think it'd be great for television, but I do think that we see Goff have to kind of keep up. Both these guys are vying for some serious position in their own conferences. So I'm going to go Jared Goff. I think Herbert and Goff finished within a few points of one another, but give me Jared Goff in this matchup. Bills did allow 23.8 points last week. They only allowed 3.2 points a week prior, but don't get that misconstrued. That was against the Niners in the snow and that whole bit. But yeah, give me Jared Goff in this one.
Yeah, I think I prefer Goff as well. Just wanted to check something really quick.
Herbert's off the injury report, if that's what you were checking. I'm just putting that out there.
No, I was checking
Okay.
something else.
Well, just for public consumption, he is off the injury report officially. So
Yeah, Jared Goff is in terms of matchup expected fantasy points per dropback per fantasy points. If you like that kind of thing, he's projected the third highest quarterback in expected fantasy points per dropback this week. So Justin Herbert is 12th on that list as well. I prefer Goff too.
I sent the live stream to my teenage daughter. Does she tune in or no?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Millie C said Steelers or Commanders defense. Commanders for me. Steelers playing a much tougher opponent. Give me the Commanders this week.
I always defer stuff to you in terms of DST, but here, yeah, I would agree. I'd go Commanders as well.
Okay, Emil, this is easy for me. Pat Fryermuth. He asked Brenton Strange likely or Fryermuth. No Pickens. I'm starting Fryermuth. I could see maybe a Brenton Strange game, but give me Fryermuth.
Yeah. That's not to say the other guy's going to stink, but yeah, give me Fryermuth. That's it. Let's work smart, not hard, shall we?
All in one show. Another message said Burrow, Gibbs, Puka, Jennings, Kelsey is the rest of my starting lineup. Still start Higgins or Connor. Yeah, I mean, you got a good start with Puka. Jennings obviously hurt. But to me, you do,
Connor.
Yeah, you do have a lot of pop here. So to me, I would go with Connor as well, unless you're chasing points.
Yeah.
But I think Connor's fine, given you got a tough start with Jennings, but you did get Puka to save you. This roster, I don't think you need to swing crazy on Higgins. I would go with Connor.
Yeah, it's kind of what you were just saying. Like if you're comfortable there. You have enough boom there where you can go Connor.
Yeah.
You're good.
Matt Tate said Cardinals or Broncos defense. I think the Cardinals are riskier but provide higher upside. I think Denver is safer but provides still pretty strong upside. So I would go with Denver here. All in one show said my opponent's team is Knicks, Hall, Chuba, Hill, McLaurin, Hunter Henry, Walker. I don't think Walker is going to play. I would still go Connor. And that's still.
It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't change.
Yeah. Albert, DJ Moore or Mooney half PPR. Give me DJ Moore.
Yeah, give me DJ Moore. I mentioned a lot of DJ Moore yesterday. I'm just kind of thinking, just on the last question, just don't modify your lineup based on what the other guy has. Put your best horses out there. Put the best players that you think are going to produce in week 15. Don't say, well, he's got these guys out there. The only time I say where you could think that is maybe if it's if somebody has a quarterback and you're playing one of the receivers or, something to that extent. But outside of that, play with your gut, play with the guys that got you there, play with the guys that have the matchup this week. It's not a simple formula. You need to integrate a lot of different things into this sort of thing. But just to me, don't dictate who you start in almost all circumstances based on what your opponent's doing. Put your best lineup out there and let's go to war. Let's win a fucking fantasy football title. That's it, man. That's it. Let's do it.
I do want to mention, per MLB Scoops, the Marlins are looking to shop Jesus Luzardo on the trade market, believed to be looking for controllable bats in return. Would be a nice move for the Mets. Just saying.
Marlins are dumb enough to do it in division too.
We've seen that with JT. Um, Iron Chatter Matt said Sincere Hall. This is one of those situations. I will go Hall here. I do like Sincere, but the quarterback situation worries me, just like the
I
Hall
will
injury
go
worries
Hall,
me too.
but don't you have a little bit of feeling that the Brees Hall thing can blow up in your face? Maybe not enough to say, give me McCormick instead, but just,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Maybe that's me hedging. Maybe
And the
that's me
Raiders
being a
Raiders could get this
realist.
Raiders could also get the snot kicked out of them with Desmond Ritter at quarterback, and
No shit.
Alexander Madison maybe gets more touches than we expect. You know, I mean,
By the way, where's William Stevenson today?
I don't know. Don't see him out there yet.
What a dick.
Javi Ramirez said full PPR, Neighbors or Pollard. Nervous with Neighbors quarterback situation, blow up potential. Yeah, I'm going with Pollard.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
For exactly what you mentioned, Javi. You got the right idea, man.
Yep. Tyler Sparrow said Pacheco or Elijah Moore. I'm going with Pacheco.
That's the
It's a better
weirdest way
match.
I've ever seen Elijah
Alicia.
typed out. Yeah. Alicia. Where's Alicia? No, I'm going Pacheco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was CB said can only start 3 out of Sharbs, Judy, Marv, Brees. Full PPR. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm starting Charbonnet. I'm going to start Marv. A good matchup here. And then it's really between Brees, Neighbors, and Judy. I would start Neighbors just on the potential that they are playing from behind and maybe he gets some garbage time. That's
Now I'm gonna go with Sharbs, Marv, and Judy.
okay. It's totally fair. Yeah,
I'm gonna ride that Jameis Winston lightning.
Yeah, Judy's been hot. One player quit mid-game, give a guy a break. Yeah, well, look, we're not trying to be jerks. It's just these guys get paid.
No, I am being no. You know what? I'm not being a jerk. No. There is no. Well, we're not trying to be this. I'm being a fucking realist. You quit on your goddamn team. You quit on your team when they needed to. They need to win every single game is a playoff game, and you quit on your team because you didn't like that a damn near all pro came back. That was the only reason why you're joining the team. And the all pro came back, and now you're not playing as much. Know your role. That's your role. If you sign with the team for a different reason, then you done screwed up. You didn't read the situation correctly. So no, I'm not giving anybody a break. Tyler, I love you. Great guy. Great support of the show. Not directed at you. But no, I'm not giving him a break. You're out. You're gone. Not you.
Anthony Capi said you skipped me. Send in your question again. I try to look up, scroll up. I don't know if your question didn't register.
You don't walk out on a goddamn team and they're like, well, I give a pass. No, you walk down the goddamn team in the fucking pivotal moment. You're gone.
Yeah, I mean, especially in a season that's probably lost. I mean,
fucking team sport, man. You're gone.
Yeah. Jared Fortin said, what are your thoughts on Drew Aller? I like Drew Aller from Penn State. A lot of tools. I don't know how tuned in you are, Hoff, but I do like Drew Aller. I think he's probably the sneakiest. If I had to say, I think truly, and I do have to dig into his tape, which we'll do in the offseason more, but I think he's the sneakiest quarterback in this draft. Has a lot of tools, big arm, has had a really nice year for Penn State, bouncing back from a lot of criticism. I think he could be a really sneaky quarterback in this next draft here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't dug a ton into college stuff. I usually don't at this point. I almost never do. I will just say on what I've heard or what I've read. It's he seems like he could be okay, but as always with every single college player, it depends on where said player lands. So I will just use this as the opportunity to say we go all year round. So when fantasy football season ends, we do not end. We will be here. So, yeah.
Tyler said he was standing up for the 49ers coach. So maybe we misunderstood his.
That's fine, Tyler. Even if we misunderstood you, I still get my point across. But Tyler, then God bless you, buddy.
I'd rather said Drew Allard is trash, Pete. He's not sneaky. You want sneaky McCourt as your guy. Get on the hype train now. We'll see. I'm not saying Drew Allard
back into my face on that one.
I'm not saying Drew Allard's gonna be a guy, but I do think
you did hype him up a little bit.
No, but I do.
You did give him a little bit of a rub.
It depends where he goes, though. I mean, like if he goes
to give him a little bit of a rub, though.
I like Drew Aller a lot. I think
Okay.
tools wise, he is there. I mean, I think his tools are better than Shador Sanders. Athletic ability wise, he's got a bigger arm. He's more athletic. Better than Quinn Ewers. I mean, now Cam Ward, right? I mean, like he's got the big arm. He's athletic, but I don't know if he has it up here. But still, regardless, I mean, Drew Allard, will he be something? Maybe not, but I mean, a lot of people have perceived notions about the guy because he was bad before this year.
The one thing I want to bring up before we go on to our next question, because again, I don't delve a lot into college stuff at this point. I don't, and I know you don't either. But somebody mentioned, well, not somebody, Greg Giannotti on WFAN compared Cam Ward, like based on the look, the size, the mobility of like a Steve McNair. I thought that was a great fucking comp.
Yeah, I like that comp. That's not bad.
I thought that was a great comp, but yeah. I'm not gonna act like it's my own. Wasn't my own at all. But yeah, just putting that out there.
All right. Anthony Capiche said pick 2, Ramondre, Jonathan Taylor, Tracy, Mooney, full PPR. I would go with Ramondre, but I mean, just because the Arizona's run defense got ripped up a little bit last week, but their run defense has been good. I would go with Ramondre, and I think I would go with Jonathan Taylor here. I don't love the matchups for literally any of these guys that you just throw in this chat. Maybe Mooney, but he's battling an injury right now. So, yeah.
That's what I was looking at. I personally would wait it out a little bit. What time do the Falcons play at? Let me see this here. Where are we?
Hollywood French
Oh,
Bar.
Falcons are one of the Monday night games.
We'll get to you, buddy. We're backed up here.
Falcons are one of the Monday night games. The Colts are at 4:25. I would wait it out to see where it gets around 3:00 in terms of Darnell Mooney news, because I actually like Ramondre and Mooney here. Now, if we start to hear some things that aren't great for Mooney, then I'm with Pete, in which I would go with Ramondre and Jonathan Taylor. But I'd kind of wait that out a little bit. Again, Colts don't play till 4. Falcons play on Monday night. So I'd wait it out personally a little bit.
Out of rhythm. You're such a moron, Jamie. Just shut the fuck up.
McNair fell short to win the big one against. You
That's
know what? Hey, who's this again? Who's it?
Jamie. It's Jamie.
Jamie.
He's been
You
with
know
us.
what? Jamie. Fuck the Rams.
That's true. Hoff does not like the Rams. So there you go.
Nope.
All
I
right,
respect him, but I don't like him.
we did skip a couple of people,
Yeah,
not
apparently getting yelled
intentionally.
at.
Feel free to send in your comments. I'm at Shadow is Wicked at 7:06. We'll try to start going through these a little quicker, and then we're getting out of here because we're at the 48-minute mark, and I gotta start cooking dinner. And it is
You say when, bro. It's up to you, man. You say when.
Yeah, we'll do another 6 minutes.
Well, I don't want you to get yelled at again because I can only vouch for you so much.
This one's easy. Give me Marv and Adam Thielen. Love Adam Thielen this week.
Yeah. Yes.
Shooting for ceiling, Commanders or Denver defense. I think Commanders have higher upside this week if you're going for upside, but they are more risky. So if you're going for ceiling, I would say Commanders. Everyone didn't like him. Did you hear any of the 49ers press conference? Yeah. No, for sure.
I will just shoot. No, I'm not going into a whole long tangent. I just think that was more reactionary based on what happened that night. I think prior to that, Campbell was fine.
Yeah, they probably liked him.
With
Yeah,
the team. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sure
thinking
there was
fine.
probably no issues.
Right, it was more reactionary to just last night. Whatever. That's all. Go ahead.
Who do you bench? Monty, Bijan, B-Rob, or Char Benet? This is a
nice problem to have, Gabe.
Yeah, I mean,
Char would be the answer for me. Again, this is a nice problem to have. There's no, should I play? Let me do this.
Yeah, I think I would start. I would sit Charbonnet here too. He had a good week last week. Don't get me wrong, but I would start Charbonnet. Sit Charbonnet over those guys.
You turned off the sound drop?
I didn't actually. I didn't.
Oh, it did it itself. I didn't realize how long it went.
Tristan Walker. Hey guys, I'm thinking of a flex between TJ Hawkinson, Jameson Williams, or Devonta Smith. What do you guys think would be the best option? I like TJ Hawkinson over all of these guys.
Yeah, I mentioned it a lot. Great matchup. this weekend. I think it's a Hawkinson week. I think he's top 3. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. So yeah, Hawkinson would be the play for me.
Yeah, just acknowledging this. And then
What was the last one? I didn't even read it.
So
I'm not
Campbell
gonna.
must
I'm not gonna get into more.
Campbell must have been upset knowing that that Greenlaw was starting over him when he was never going to be the number one, be the 100%. I
Yeah,
understand what he said.
that's correct. Yeah, correct.
OX Staffari said Waddle, Stevenson, DK pick 2. Thank you. I'm going
We're going with three
Waddle
here.
and Stevenson right
Yep.
now. I
Yeah, we
hate
are.
sitting DK, but it's just ah,
Again, we talked about what
yeah, we talked
Waddle's done
about it
lately,
yesterday.
and we talked about what the Texans have allowed lately. So it checks out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sean Force said, sure happy I had a bye this week with Cup's goose egg last night.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too. I have a league with them too. Right
Yeah.
there with you, Tron.
Yeah. Access MIA said flex 2, Pollard, Devonta Smith, Mooney, Kelsey. I'm starting Pollard, and I would start Kelsey.
Wait, you're starting who else besides Kelsey? Who was the other
Pollard
one?
and Kelsey. It's
Pollard. Okay,
Devonta,
yeah. Yeah.
Mooney, Kelsey.
Yeah. Pollard I was gonna do. Fuck. Yeah, I am doing Kelsey, aren't I? I am doing Kelsey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, you're right.
There you
Not
go.
happy about it, but yeah, I'm doing it.
Bubba Thompson, Ramondre, or McCormick.
Not
Ramondre.
even a question. Ramondre. Not even
Yeah.
a question, man. Good luck
Matt
this
Tate.
weekend.
Yeah, good luck. Said, is it bad luck starting a quarterback and the defense he's playing? No, I don't think so. Depends the kind of league that you're playing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, to me, you could have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts or Jaden Daniels who rush for 100 yards. It's 10 points. That's
But
not going to
against
severely affect your DST. You know,
you could
sack.
also
If your quarterback
I'm
gets
sorry.
sacked a lot,
You're going.
but I'm
Yeah.
saying if your quarterback gets sacked a lot and but the defense, you know, but the quarterback scores a couple touchdowns,
Right.
you're okay, right? Like,
Bingo. That's you know how I would equate this, and I'll be quick with it. I would kind of equate this to being like, say a quarterback is a sit for the week, but the positional player could still succeed. There's still that world. So
yes.
I think there's still a world where you can start a quarterback and a defense in the same matchup, and they both produce for you. There is that world.
Yeah, he sent that follow up and said I think this was Richardson or Winston. We talked about this. And Hoff said Winston. I agreed Winston
Yeah, I
was the
did.
better play too. Hoff talked me into it. Initially, I thought Richardson for upside, but I'm not willing to take that chance in Denver. So yeah,
I
Hollywood.
would just say I love Anthony to death, but thank God he hasn't been here because he would have yelled at me so much. Go ahead, go on.
Hollywood French Bulls said pick 2, Brees Hall, James Cook, Charbonnet, Cook and Charbonnet for me.
Yeah, I just can't trust the whole Brees Hall bit, man. I can't trust it. Yep.
Bubba Thompson agreed as well, by the way. Michael Lewis said Mooney, Flowers, Downs, Watson, pick 2 PPR. Flowers for me, and then it's between the rest. I think I'd go Christian Watson and Flowers.
I'd go Flowers and Mooney, personally.
And then, of course, it'll be Downs. just saying.
That's the spirit.
No.
Follow us on X at FFA stuff though.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Pete's spreading out that positivity.
Millie C, I'll go with the Commanders D. Would you drop the Steelers for Ray Davis, Benson Vidal, or any other handcuff running back? At this point, I would hang on to the Steelers unless you need the running backs. I mean, the Steelers don't have like a ton of plus matchups rest of the season. But to me, Ray Davis, Benson Vidal.
If you consider it for any of those running backs, would be Ray Davis, though, right? Or no?
It would be Vidal.
Oh, really? Okay.
On the off chance that he maybe can earn the starting job, I don't think Ray Davis can earn the starting job this year. Vidal with Gus Edwards, you know, with the injuries to JK, you know, I could see a world where it happens. You remember that argument that we had, JK, me and you said sell. There was this is no joke. We had people asking. One question came in that said somebody offered me Jamar Chase for J.K. Dobbins because Jamar started the season off slow, and me and you were like, sell J.K. Dobbins high, and Steve and Anthony were like, no, 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 no,
No.
and all I'm saying, Dobbins has had a great year. We also had a question too. It was like the pizza bet is actually Pollard or J.K. Dobbins rest the season, because I put out a poll. It was Brian Robinson, Pollard, or J.K. and you both said we'd prefer Pollard. And as of right now, Pollard has been the better running back this year.
Can I sum up Steve and Anthony on that one?
Sure.
You idiot.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Perfectly close. Love you.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hollywood French Balls also said he has Brian Robinson Jr. I would start Brian Robinson Jr. over James Cook, and I would go B-Rob and Charbonnet, or B-Rob and James Cook. I could see, but I prefer B-Rob I prefer B-Rob over Cook and Charbonnet this week and Hall.
Agreed.
So I would get him in and maybe and decide who you want to sit between the two.
Good luck, Goals. Go get them.
Yeah. Good luck. Jared said, "Are you guys watching Saturday Night Main Event?"
I am.
Who fights Saturday night?
What?
Who fights?
No, the wrestling.
Oh, for wrestling, WWE.
You fucking guy.
Well, I'm sorry. Fucking UFC's every fucking Saturday. Main event.
I was debating going to Saturday Night Main Event because it's in my area. It's in my it's on beautiful Long Island.
What's the main event?
The main event's Cody Rhodes going up against Kevin Owens for the WWE title. And while we all know Cody's going to win, the interesting part for any wrestling fan of any age-ish, in a way, Cody Rhodes is rumored to be wearing the Winged Eagle belt out to the ring, which is made, infamous by, fuck Hulk Hogan, but, Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin for a time. So, yeah. I will be watching. I'm debating going. Probably won't go, but I will be watching for sure.
Fun fact, Cody Rhodes' walkout song was on my Spotify Wrapped top 5 most listened to song this year.
I got to meet Cody Rhodes. He was fucking amazing. He was such a nice guy.
Super nice guy. Yeah, super nice guy. Amazing. Seems like it.
He was.
A lot of people don't like him, obviously.
Yeah, it's too much to explain the encounter I had with him, but just he was a really nice guy. Genuine dude. No, you wish. But you're going to imagine that tonight while you're laying in bed.
Michael Lewis, Isaiah Davis, Ramondre Stevenson. It's Ramondre. I don't trust Isaiah Davis.
No, yeah, that's Ramondre, man. That's Ramondre.
Yeah. Where else? Stevenson, Tracy Mooney dealing with some. Okay, this was just Hollywood answering somebody else. Mooney was a full practice today.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's what's interesting about Moody. He always tends to get banged up, but then all of a sudden he's practicing at full and he's ready to go. That's why I'm saying, keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Glenn Smith, Ramondre, Ladd, or Zay Flowers in the flex half PPR. What do you think?
Pete, how much trouble are you in right now?
No. Emily is listening to. I hear her watching a Christmas movie, and she is laying on the couch with my dog and the cat.
Okay, well, just tell Emily I'm sorry, but only doing one of these for flex.
I'm going Ladd against the Bucks.
If Ladd's ready to roll, I go Ladd. If he's not, I go Ramondre. But yeah,
I go Flowers over Ramondre. By the way,
really? Okay. I mean, they're close. I'm not going to fight you over it. But yeah, I would go Ladd for sure if he's out. Ramondre for me. But yeah.
Answer this one, Hoff.
Butker's playing. The practice window is open. With kickers, it's not like as much with running backs when the practice window's open. It's like, all right, let's see him get ramped up. Is he ready to go? Once the kicker's window's open, he's going. So we saw the same thing last week. Butker's going. Butker is still top 10 for me. It would be top 10 regardless. Matchup is a big thing. So yeah, but it's Butker. Go with it.
Rink side rips. Half PPR start 2. Calvin Ridley.
The critic.
Calvin Ridley, Marv, Ramondre, Jacoby. I don't know who the fuck that is.
You weren't even born yet when that came out.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah, you weren't even a thought yet. That's Anyway, I could say inappropriate things. Let me go. Let me move on. I respect your dad too much. You hate me. Start two. Yeah, give me Ramondre and give me Marvin Harrison in this one.
Okay. And then I would go
Brown.
Marvin Ramondre as well. Fairborn. There you go.
Fairborn. Yep.
Greg said best looking female WWE wrestler of all time. I mean, you'd probably have a better idea here than me. I mean,
Well,
Trish Stratus was pretty.
yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, there are those. There are those during the Attitude Era, but to me, if we're going all time, we can't not mention Miss Elizabeth and what she was and what she meant. She was the female before all the females. Well, you get it, but I'd go with Miss Elizabeth. You know what? And selfishly, a little Alexa Bliss action. Get her back. Let's do it. But yeah. But yes, I get it. Trish Stratus is in another stratosphere.
Well, he did ask the
I'm
best.
bored.
Here for those who don't know, this is Miss Elizabeth. This is Hoff's
Wow. Huge
pick
legend.
here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with Miss Elizabeth.
Very, very 80s with the teased hair and.
Well, it's from the fucking 80s, guy.
I fucking know.
Well,
I fucking know.
Yeah, very sad ending to
sure
her
some
life.
weird stuff probably went down here.
God.
All
Hogan was more than willing to share.
I've watched the
If you know what I
documentaries.
mean.
Greg said Sable for me, by the way.
Of course. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. Another one.
Wonder, Greg. I wonder. I mean, because WWE always they wrestle all over the place.
Yeah, they do.
Do you appreciate that, buddy? Have
Pete
you ever
by the
seen?
way, I'm not being a dickhead. Pete pulls up comments and just like gets over them quick before I even have a chance to read them.
All
If
right,
you're saying something
Tree
nice,
Hugging
thank
Hunter
you.
said y'all have been awesome all season. Thanks.
Yes.
That's what he said.
You're welcome.
I would love to know, Greg, if you've seen a match in person because I know you're across the pond.
I'm sure he has. Yeah.
I'd be curious to see if you've seen one in person.
My favorite thing ever. Can I just say one quick thing? SummerSlam '92 in England. I am very old. But in England, it was British Bulldog against Bret Hart, and they were playing all these kids
British
from
Bulldog.
England. And some kids said British Bulldog's gonna win whether he likes it or not. Like, why would he not like it?
That could have been better, Hoff. Come on.
R.I.P. British Bulldog.
Fuck, I can't believe we just fucking wasted airtime to hear that story.
I can't believe I just listened to you complain about the British Bulldog.
I love British Bulldog. I play the WWE video games all the time. You should get an Xbox so we could play.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, come on. What else you got to do?
I get ripped by you on here.
Kamara or AJ Brown? I think Kamara is safer. I think he's going to get a lot of targets this week, but I like AJ Brown a lot for his ceiling this week.
You're right. You're right in terms of safer. For
I'm
sure.
Right.
Oh well, let's fucking take it easy with that shit. But yeah, I would go AJ Brown. Yeah.
Okay.
Man. Okay. As Pete takes up 37 hours of public question, I will just say the whole AJ Brown bit. I honestly think him and Jalen Hurts had a discussion this week and said, "Hey, we got to put this shit to bed. Like, let's go out and have a good week this week. All this drama, let's put it to bed." Thank you, Brandon Graham, for
Oh yeah, thanks. What a nice guy.
But yeah, so yeah, but yeah.
We're gonna answer Nikhil all the way up to Jose, and then we're out of here. 3 more questions. If you just jumped in, I mean, we just had like 90 questions, a bunch of questions come in. I do want to, before we jump in, since you're talking WWE, I would pull Albert's comment. He said, Hoff, I went to WrestleMania 7 in Houston, Texas.
17 is what he means. Because 7 was in LA, 17 was in Houston. Fantastic for you, Albert. Albert, I went to WrestleMania 18 the year after in Toronto in the Skydome. I was on the floor for that. I needed a cigarette after Rock Hogan.
Greg said they advertised The Undertaker. We went, and it was a tall guy in a hat and a cloak who unfortunately couldn't wrestle, but wanted to come out and say hello to the fans.
Hi.
Shit. And Ringside Rip said Bret Hart was the best. Also loved X Pac and
Ooh, a
Six.
little. Oh, you forgot the one. We've got to add 1, 2, 3 kid in there, but yeah, love that, man.
There you
Love
go.
the knowledge.
Anthony and Hoff want to do a spin-off wrestling show at some point.
Anthony and I have tried about, I don't know, 8 different wrestling podcasts, and it just never hits. Maybe we'll do it again.
All right, let me get to Nikhil Patel. We'll go to Ronald, Jose, and then we'll be back Sunday morning. It's probably going to be. I know I'll be here Sunday. Hoff might join me as well. I don't know if Hoff's going to be
I'm
here or not, but
definitely
I will
available.
be here.
If Anthony's not, I'll be here.
Okay.
Confirm.
Nikhil said Pacheco, Stevenson, or Mooney PPR pick 2. I'm going to go with Pacheco and Stevenson here.
Pick 2. Yeah, I'd go the same. I just if Mooney's active and ready to go, he's gonna put up something. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Nice
Ronald,
problem to have. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. Ronald Mikos, how are y'all gents feeling about Jalen McMillan this week?
Yeah,
Indigestion. I don't.
right. Mm,
I mean, there's injuries. There's a
right.
lot of. I can understand maybe in a
I
spot
think he gets out
that
of bed in
spot.
the morning. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jalen McMillan. I really do. Actually, I like him. I think he's going to be good long term there. But I'm not feeling excited to start him. It's not a good matchup either against the Chargers. So I'm not excited to start him. Jose, you are the lucky last question we
Hmm.
will answer tonight. Half point PPR, Hunter Henry or Cade Otton. Um, Half PPR. I'm going to roll with Cade Otton, who I've talked about a couple times already at this point.
Yeah, same bit. I'm going with Kate Otten as well. I know he's been a bummer in some of these matchups lately, but yeah, Kate Otten's the play.
It's a little more wrestling stuff I'll pull for you. The kid, Sean Waltman.
There you go. You
Nikhil
got
said,
it.
thank you,
You got him.
boys. Good luck on Sunday.
Good luck
Algorithm
to
said,
you, man.
if you guys want to talk 2025 prospects live sometimes, let's do it. Yeah, we're
Fuck
definitely
yeah,
doing
man.
some
We'll hit you
stuff.
up.
Yeah, we're doing some stuff. So we'll get you on the show out of rhythm. I know you're doing some stuff over there on your show as well.
Let's do some by the way, for you people on X
Hmm.
and let's do some spaces. Let's do some talking there.
Yeah, we're definitely open to maybe do spaces
Yeah.
too. It's been a little bit since we did that. And Jose
Yeah.
said, "Thank you guys. Most rankings say Henry, but I agree with you all actually." Cool.
Cheers, Jose. Good luck, man. For
Yeah,
real.
good luck for real. Yeah, that's gonna do it. We still have 20 people watching on YouTube. Thank you so much,
Mm.
guys, for sticking with us. A lot of people, a lot of times it starts to seem that you guys just kind of hang out and listen to us and maybe sit in the background and don't ask questions. And we appreciate you guys just hanging out and listening to
We
us.
we are
Season.
as appreciative of that as we think that it's crazy you guys sit there and hang out. It's
Mm.
a humbling, beautiful thing. We appreciate the hell of it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The last thing I will say is if you haven't liked the show, like it for us as we close out here. I will be here. We will be here on Sunday. We might even go a little longer on Sunday than normal just to make sure we are available to answer as much as we can. But like I said,
Mhm.
like the show. I'm gonna close this out, Hoff. But
Ooh.
it's been fun. It's been a great season. If you guys can't make the show on Sunday, hit us up on X or drop questions inside the comment section below once this closes out, and we will try our best to make sure we answer them before we go live and before the games kick off. But it's been a great season. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and we'll